My hand's stable, I feel able to turn the tables, I could do this. Just keep moving, keep your hands up, stupid. I feel lucid, a new viewing. I can see the end, I can see my future, I can view it. It's right there for the taking. Everything I've ever wanted, dreams are just waiting. I just gotta fight for it, willing to die for it, willing to like sort of.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000, it still sucks. This is Philip J. Price, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show, your one-stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
Just like every other podcast. Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. I'm Daniel. Alongside with me is my good buddy Jaime. Big Blue couldn't make it, so we decided to celebrate him by wearing blue shirts. How you doing, Jaime?
I'm hanging in there. Had a rough day moving out,
Oh yeah.
So packing up all this stuff and getting out of here. So it was busy. Let's just say that.
A busy day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Liz W, for your $9.99 super sticker. We appreciate that and appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, Big Blue is going to be celebrating his third quinceañero, so he won't be joining us. He's out partying like a rock star. If you guys see him out there, tell him we said hello and we miss him. He'll be back on Monday. So, guys, we're going to be,
If we can find them.
Yeah, we can find him. So we're going to be, we have a pretty good show today coming up, in my opinion. We have a great guest. Her name is Nina Glass. She is the director for the Search and Rescue SATX here in San Antonio, Texas. They're part of the group that located. She's part of the group that located the vehicle that contained the deceased Savanah Soto and Matthew Guerra. So, welcome to the show, Nina. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great. So just, before we get into this specific case and stuff, can you tell us a little bit about your group, Search and Rescue SATX?
Sure. Originally in 2019, I started doing search and rescue to help families, with missing loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 years, I did it with a different group of people. And then I branched off on my own, started my own nonprofit, made an incorporation, and that's how we got Search and Rescue SATX.
Nice. And you've worked on a few local cases and some across Texas of missing persons. What are some of the most, probably more recognizable missing persons cases that you've worked on?
I worked on Andreen McDonald here in San Antonio, Texas. I worked on Cecilia Huerta Gallegos here in San Antonio, Texas. There was 2 autistic children that came up missing, or young adults, in January in Spring Branch. I worked on that one. Kaylana Turner, north of Houston, we went and did that one in June.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided to use our resources to try to help Savanah Soto and their family try to locate the car and find them.
Right. And so, when did you first find out that Savanah Soto and Matthew were missing?
I actually came across a post on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So once I come across a post that somebody's missing, I start doing my research.
Mm-hmm.
I start trying to figure out what happened. Is it a runaway? Is it a case where, they just want to be gone because they're adults, or anything like that? And then once I figured that out, then I dive deeper and figure out what we can do to help them.
Gotcha. And so did any of the family members reach out to you guys for assistance, or did you reach out for them after looking into it, just to kind of tell them that you'll be helping the search?
I actually reached out to a gentleman by the name of Albert, who's a searcher out of Houston, Texas. I saw a post that he was on his way in to come help with this case, and I reached out on the post and I said, "Hey, Albert, can you send me a message? I have a search and rescue group here in San Antonio, and we're trying to help you out."
And Albert is he was on I want to say a TikTok, right, in front of the their apartment, talking about some of the things he had learned. Is that accurate?
Yes,
Is that the Albert?
absolutely. Yes, that's him.
And, okay, and so the information that he had found out then was that
I think you're. Is it just me or is it everybody that can't hear?
I can't hear him.
Okay. Oh, well, I thought you could hear him. That's why I just stayed quiet. I think he's gonna have to jump out and jump back in.
I'm already back.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
It's mine.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I apologize. What was the last thing y'all heard? Anything?
You were asking me about Albert.
Right. Okay. Can you tell us about like what it was that Albert discovered about that about Matthew's father? I know that there was some rumors as far as like what time Matthew's father went back to that apartment. If it was the night that they went missing, it was after they were known to have been missing.
I actually don't know exactly what time the father went back to the apartment. I'm not quite sure. I believe it was Saturday, but I would have to confirm that with Albert. I didn't ask him for a time when we were talking.
Okay. But he was able to confirm that. I believe it was Savannah's parents who had arrived there earlier and locked up the apartment. Is that correct?
Yes. And that was all Saturday because she was supposed to be induced Saturday.
Right. And this is when they couldn't find him. They went to go check on him.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
Yes.
Good deal. And so you guys are on the case. You guys are looking for the vehicle. How did it come across to your group where the vehicle was at?
Actually, Albert was the one who told me. But the actual location of the vehicle came from Savannah's sister-in-law got a tip via Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And they headed there to the vehicle and called PD. And then from there, Albert got the information. I was already out searching for the vehicle, but I was searching for the vehicle in 78217 zip code because I had gotten a tip from the night before that the vehicle was spotted in 78217. So me and my videographer, Terry, we were out looking for the vehicle in that zip code when they found the vehicle in the medical center.
So just to kind of clarify this up, this was the night before the vehicle was found. Somebody had said that they had seen the vehicle in a different area, zip code. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. And so we know that the vehicle was right. Well, we know that the vehicle had been parked there for a few days. Isn't that correct?
That's what PD's suspecting, but I'm not too sure about that because the tip came from a very reliable source that doesn't want to be revealed. But I believe that they were true.
And you're referring the tip of the vehicle being in the 78217.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we spent Tuesday out looking for the vehicle in that because it's a pretty big zip code. So Terry and I were out driving around looking parking lots, grocery stores, all kinds of areas looking for that vehicle. Because the vehicle was the key to everything.
Right. 100%. Just to clarify, how far would you say that zip code 78217 is from where the vehicle was found in Leon Valley?
Probably 12 miles, maybe. It's opposite sides of San Antonio. So 78217 is the northeast side, and where the vehicle was found is the northwest side.
Yeah. And so this source says that they saw the vehicle, they in that area, and you guys were searching that area. You're saying that there was a Facebook tip that led to this area. When did you arrive on the scene?
By the time I arrived on the scene from the other side of San Antonio, there was police everywhere. They'd already got it roped off and everything. It took us probably a good 18 minutes to get over there.
Mm-hmm. And from when you got there, what point of view did you have? I know you said there was cops everywhere. How close were you able to get?
Originally, when I got there, we were on the other side of the building from where the vehicle was found. We couldn't go around. We couldn't go
Gotcha.
around the building to see. When they set up the press conference and they put the mics out and everything for Chief McManus to come out, we went around that side and we could see everything. Well, not everything. They had it blocked off.
And but how long did you stay out there?
I didn't leave there till about 9:15. The vehicle was found about 4 o'clock.
Good deal. So there's a few like rumors that have been kind of swirling around that I think we, kind of want to squash or clear up. One of them being is that the victims were tied up. To your knowledge, from what you know from the scene, is that accurate?
No. From everything that I know and everything I've been told, from everybody that was actually able to see or whatever, they weren't tied up. Now, I can't say that won't come out later, but everything that I know, they weren't.
Got you. There was nobody in the trunk either, right? That was another rumor that had came out that someone was in the trunk.
Now, I was saying that originally because that's originally what I was told by a family member. But
Gotcha.
That's, from what I understand, that's not accurate.
That is not accurate. Okay.
Yes.
I believe on social media there was another family member that claimed that Matthew was tortured and he didn't have his pants on. To your knowledge, is any of that accurate?
From what I understand and what I was told from what happened, he did have his pants on. They were down a little bit, but he did have his pants on. And to me, I think of it like, these younger kids these days, they sag their pants.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I took it.
And he was in the back seat and she was in the front seat. Is that accurate?
That's what they're saying, yes.
Now I know that oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, I mean, I believe that part of that is true. I mean, the front seat could have been all the way down. He's very tall.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew was very tall. So I don't know if they were able, whoever's responsible for this was able to get him all the way in the back seat or not because he's tall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still waiting to hear about that.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole torture thing, and or the tied up stuff didn't make sense to me. The reason why it didn't make sense to me is because Chief McManus was still considering the possibility that it was a suicide or suicide murder suicide. I'm sorry. And if you walk up upon a scene and the two victims are tied up, I'm not sure how that's gonna, you're gonna say that there's any way that that's possible. Mm-hmm. And or if one of them is tortured, you know what I'm saying? So those two things don't make sense to me. So another couple of things that didn't make sense, and I'm hoping you can clarify. I know it came out on the news earlier that we had seen some glass broken. The police had to break the glass to make entry into the vehicle. Is that correct?
I believe so. I can't completely confirm that, but that's what I was told. I was told there was no keys and no gun in the vehicle. No
keys and no gun. Now that was something that I thought as well, because we saw the drag marks from the what do you call it? The vehicle. And I was like, if they have the keys, and they're dragging it to tow it, they wouldn't need to. So that's kind of what I had thought.
I was there when the tow truck came, and I kind of was like, okay, well, they're probably going to have to drag it.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. So, but because you don't know if when the person that discovered the vehicle, if they saw if any of the windows had been broken before anybody arrived.
That I don't know, because I don't even know exactly who submitted the Facebook tip to the sister-in-law.
Gotcha. All right. I want to pull up this video because I gotta find it first. Let me see. Here it is. So here's the video from the surveillance area, and I went out there today, and I did confirm that this is in the back of the complex. There's actually several cameras in that area that would have captured these two vehicles entering and leaving this area. But this is the Silverado that is pulling up.
Right.
So one thing that bugged me about this is when they open the door to the Kia, there's a reflection right there on the door. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So let me rewind that a little bit. I want to see if I can stop it. There, you see this reflection? It's very bright compared to everything else. I was just kind of thinking maybe perhaps that's a piece of the tint holding shattered glass down.
It very well could be.
Because that I kept thinking about it ever since I saw this. I was like, this looks very like it's reflecting, and it's reflecting brighter than any other part, and it's right underneath where the window frame would have been. And that would tell me that I would think that maybe perhaps if this is somebody taking their lives, that they may have been behind them in the back seat, and he may have been driving, and
that's a great possibility.
And one shot went out the direction towards this, and it hit that window, because I see this reflection there. It's really reflective. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's glass. What do you think, Jaime?
I was thinking maybe it could have been also, how the handles of the car sometimes have the little light.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it looks a little bit too low.
Yeah.
And I don't think only one will light up. I think all of them will light up if you open the door.
Yeah.
Correct. If it's those that you're talking about, all of them light up.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It does also look too low. It could be that, like you said, Danny, that the glass was shattered and the tint. But what light? What is he using for? For the reflection. What light?
It's probably one of the lines from
the
the
house
house
behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. But as you can see, like, that light is hitting the rest of the car. The rest of the car isn't reflective like that. On that opposite side of where the light is coming from, where this angle of the camera is, that is extremely reflective. And it was bothering me, the whole freaking night last night. I was like, why is this so reflective? And then I thought to myself, well, maybe, this car does seem to have tint. If you have a tinted vehicle and glass shatters or breaks, there's a good possibility that it would hang out over. And maybe that's what they're seeing. And maybe that's what they're wiping off, like the glass and stuff around there. I don't know.
It's
in the beginning of the video, I remember you telling me that there's like signal lights or almost emergency lights turn on.
Yeah, he turns the signal light on. I'm assuming that's to alert the guy that's them.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought maybe they were trying to turn off the lights and they didn't know what they were doing since they don't know the vehicle.
Exactly. So this person, whoever this is, doesn't know who the owner of this vehicle is, right? So they only know who the driver is. So that leads me also to believe more than likely that, because to me, I don't think that this was premeditated. This guy here, he gets out. I mean, what I mean by premeditated, I don't think it was like planned prior to it happening. And because this guy here, when he gets out, he's like in pajamas. He's got a tank top and shorts on. It's December. This was probably early in the morning. If that ends up being the case, then, I think he was woken up. Yeah, there's just something really reflective there.
There is.
So, the vehicle ends up getting towed. We see a lot of this stuff going on. I think that they're going to end up finding DNA and probably some fingerprints and stuff on this vehicle.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of rumors here of recent that there's been a few people that have been arrested. I know that there has been some people arrested, but they've been arrested for other crimes. Not just for, it's not for this crime. I think there was one guy that got arrested for like a kidnapping and murder, but I think that was a guy that I guess he knocked on a door somewhere and he ended up telling somebody he needed help and then kidnapping that lady and then taking her life. So
they thought that she was the boyfriend of the young girl that came across TikTok and was saying that her and her baby daddy had issues with Savannah and Matthew. They thought that was him, but upon me further investigating today, I figured out, got the mugshot and everything, and figured out that it wasn't him.
Yeah. What were we gonna say, Jaime?
In that last clip, you can see that the window's still intact.
Let's see.
From the tint, you can see the door for the truck. Once it's closed, it becomes a little bit brighter.
Did I already pass that?
No, right there. See,
right there against his white shirt.
Yeah, the
once he walks past the door frame. Yep. Look right there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once he closes it, you can also see like, the door and the tint.
I wonder what this thing is then. That's
it's weird.
Yeah.
That's so. I mean, maybe the mirror was broke. It could be the mirror hanging.
Doesn't look like it either. It might, do you think it might be another car, maybe with backup lights reversing out of one of those parking spaces or something, or even driving by?
Maybe, but why isn't it reflecting on the truck too?
Yeah. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I
don't either. I don't know.
It's gonna bother me now that I know that it's not the window.
And you know what? At 2 o'clock in the morning, you'll figure it out. You'll wake up straight out of your sleep.
Yeah. It's definitely a reflection of something. I just don't understand why it's not, all over the place on that, and why just that one specific area. I think it could be the reverse mirror, maybe have fallen. They don't. The other thing is they don't tell us when that video was taken.
Yeah,
that was my point that I was going to tell you. We don't know what day that was, what time it was.
Yeah, that would make a big difference. Real big difference.
It would make a huge difference if we knew if that car had been sitting there since Saturday, or had that car just been dropped off on Christmas, or when was that car dropped off there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think you told me that the boyfriend was pretty tall, right?
Yes.
How do you know how tall he was?
I want to say an estimate between 6'2" and 6'4". I'm not positive, but
okay.
I've got a really tall son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'9", so I mean, I was looking at him and looking at her, and she's 5'2", and looking at him compared to her.
Yeah. So
he's about my height.
So like if anybody shorter than him drove that car, then they must have moved that seat forward, right?
They would have to. I mean, I'm assuming because when my son gets in, well, not in my truck, but in my daughter's car, my son drives back, like he's back pretty far, because he's 6'4".
Yeah.
The bottom of the seat is back, and then the back of the seat is back.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, if they wipe down this car, that's probably a place that they would, should look at, where they move the seat forward and backwards.
Right.
They'll probably forget.
I would hope they do. I would hope they look at that.
So I remember a case where they didn't know who, took the, I think it was two people as well, and they noticed that they wiped down everything except they forgot to wipe down the rearview mirror where he moved it, and he left his fingerprints on that, and they caught him because of that.
Gotcha.
One
I mean, that's a
fingerprint.
good place though. A lot of criminals don't think about the mirrors, the seat controls, if the key's there, like you put your hand on a key and you put it in the ignition to turn it. They don't think about those kind of things.
Yeah.
Kind of backtrack to the house, the apartment. Savannah's mom goes to the apartment. Is there anything in the apartment left behind, like phones, purse?
From what I understand, her purse and her hospital bag were left behind. But they did say neither phone was found.
Neither phone was found. That says something, because I mean, well, yeah, I guess I just have this idea. I don't want to put it out there yet, just because, and I've spoken to you about what I think might be going on, and I can see why. I was thinking to myself, why would they take the phones in that situation? And then I think I connected the dots there, but I don't have any. That's just my speculation, so I'm not going to put it out there.
I mean, I'm still kind of. I'm going to stay on the fence until we get some more information from PD. And that's part of kind of what I do with my search and rescue group. I mean, there was 3 victims. We're here to help all 3 of them, not just her and the baby. We're here for Matthew's family too, and they all know that. So until we get concrete evidence, anything can be speculated. Anything.
Yeah, you're right. We know a lot about speculation in cases, unfortunately. So I had
you got to kind of look at it with rose-colored glasses until we can get the truth.
That's what I'm wearing. Canadian True Crime Buff gifted 5 Drunk Turkey Show memberships. Thank you so much, Canadian True Crime Buff. We appreciate that. Karen asked a question. She said, "What does everybody think about the guy at the memorial looking like the guy in the truck?" I got that guy's picture. Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on one second. There it is. So this is the guy that was at the memorial. I believe that the memorial was done before or as the that video surveillance was being released.
That video surveillance was kind of released during the memorial, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't get to go to the memorial, but from what I heard, it was kind of at the same time.
Gotcha. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that there's a resemblance here?
Well, I mean, even if there is, like, not knowing when that video was taken really doesn't.
That hurts us.
Yeah, that doesn't say anything. If it is, if it's not, we don't know. And if it is, it doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't really matter because we got to know exactly when that video was taken. Then if we know that, then you can actually piece it together and see, okay, he was one of the last persons to actually see the victims alive.
Right. I don't want to single anybody out just from a picture from a memorial.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot more that we need to have behind that before we can say, here, SAPD, why don't you go check him out?
Oh, yeah. And, one of the things that they probably were doing was checking out everybody that was there. It's a tactic
most definitely.
For law enforcement that they're going to go out there and try to see if anybody did show up, because in certain cases, in certain situations, that has happened, that has occurred.
It happens a lot, actually, more than everybody thinks about. The actual killer comes to the services.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's the same guy though. That guy has long hair, and I can't tell if that dude in that video has long hair. I don't think so. So
I tried to blow the video up. I tried to do everything I could, and I couldn't tell if he had long hair or not.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. let me So what do you think about this area where the vehicle was found? Do you think that the suspects are familiar with that area? Do you think they've been there before? What are your
Yes,
thoughts on that?
yes. I always tend to err on the side of when a suspect leaves a body somewhere, it's familiar to them. It's a
Hmm.
familiar area. And those apartments, honestly, are pretty sketchy. I
Yeah.
talked to a couple residents of that apartment complex that night I was there. There was a shooting in the breezeway not too long ago. There was a police chase coming through there. It's kind of what did she tell me? We could hear gunshots and we don't even go outside and look.
Oh wow. Wow.
So it's just one of those areas where people are tough skin. They have tough skin. And they're
Yeah.
like, if it's not at my door and it's not coming in my apartment, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they keep to their own because they're afraid
Yes,
that they might retaliate, might be retaliation towards them.
absolutely.
So, and that sucks, because it kind of hinders the, the law enforcement to find the suspect, or at least
I mean,
other details.
it hinders us as well, like as a
Mhm.
search and rescue group. If
Exactly.
somebody's run off or somebody's left and you don't want to say you saw them leave, well,
Mhm.
I kind of need to know when the last time they were seen by a person or a
Yeah,
video
exactly.
camera, a Ring doorbell. But a lot of people these days have that, well, I didn't see anything. It's not my business. But what if it's their family member?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be screaming from the rooftops, man.
Exactly.
I will say this. I drove the area here, and there are a lot of surveillance cameras in this area. A lot. I saw multiple houses in this area. I'm sure they did a video canvas, or a canvas for the area to collect some of this footage. I'm not going to point out which houses because I don't want anybody to go and bother
Right.
anybody else. But there are a ton of surveillance cameras that would have caught a lot of things. I mean, they're going to catch which way the vehicles were traveling, and depending on what day and time it is. I'm hoping that the footage that they released has a timestamp on it. But if this was, early hours, the last time they were seen, then and they're coming from, the opposite direction. I mean, that tells you that they just came from committing the crime. I mean, well, let me ask you that. You think that Savanah and Matthew are deceased in the car at that time when the surveillance video was released?
The one that we just saw with the black truck?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And
Because knowing what I've heard about Savanah and what I've researched about Savanah, that car was stopped. If she was still alive, why wouldn't she jump out of that car and scream?
yeah.
She wanted that baby. I mean, it's been known on everything that she could not wait to have baby Fabian.
It's sad.
Very sad.
Well, is there anything that you think you can any other rumors that you've heard that you think you can kind of clarify or want to bring up?
I think you guys did a good job on all the rumors. I haven't really been trying to listen to all the rumors per se. I've been with my group, with my partners, and we've been diving further into investigations and trying to figure out. We're trying to get the video sharpened up. We're trying to do anything we can to aid PD in finding these guys because they need to be arrested.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, this was
How big is your team?
my team. The core team that I have is probably about 15, 20 people.
Oh, okay.
But we range as far as members in our group, like on Facebook, it says like 4,000.
Oh, okay. Do you usually do like suburbs searches, or y'all go rural and everything like that?
We've done all of it. We've done all of
Okay.
it. Like I said, we've been to Houston, we've been to Austin, we've been
Mhm.
south of San Antonio, we've been to Lakey, Texas, we've been to basically what it is whoever reaches out and needs our services, or if we see that somebody's missing and they need our services, because we don't work
Mhm.
for PD, we work for the families.
Yeah.
Our nonprofit is all, and that's the reason why I did what I did, is we are here for the families.
Okay.
We have worked.
Go ahead.
When I say we've worked with PD, we have worked with SAPD and Bexar County Sheriffs, but they don't call us out. The family does.
Okay. Whenever you see a missing persons post and everything like that, is there like a certain criteria you have to go through in order for you to, help out?
The biggest thing is we look at it as far, the biggest thing we can't do is runaways. Let me say that. So I do call the family of a runaway. I assist them in any way possible to get their child's information out there and let them know what their options are and what they can and cannot do. As far as me building a search party to go look for a runaway, that's really hard for me to do because they're at somebody's house. They ran away.
Yeah.
There's no real criteria if it's a true missing person. I don't have a criteria. If it's a missing person and the family needs help, we're there to help. We don't charge anybody. We don't do anything. We get our funds from our own pockets or fundraising.
That's good. Good to know. That's great stuff. And when is the for you guys, when is the job done? Is it when there's an arrest? Is it when the vehicle is found? How long do you guys continue with the case? Maybe not this one in particular, but just in general.
I actually still talk to families of people we found 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
I'll check on them. We can do aftercare services if the family needs a meal train. Somebody's deceased or something like this, and they're not worried about eating, but they need to eat. We'll put together a meal train for the family where somebody can go on the app, buy them a meal, and have it delivered to their house on a certain day. Without that person even knowing where the house is or anything, it all goes through this app. We will do vigils. We've planned vigils before for families. We've gone to services for families. We're here if a family just says, hey, can we talk? Yeah, I'm here. It doesn't matter what time they call me, I'm here.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So I know you had said that you guys gone a lot of places. What type of equipment do you guys have? And type of, I know you said you had some drones.
We have two underwater drones. We have two underwater drones that were donated for use with our search and rescue group by a wonderful guy named Jason. He names them, and I can't ever remember their names, but they are used. They can go up to 300 foot below water, and they have cameras on them, and you use it on an iPad, and you can search the whole entire. It's better than sending a diver down there. A diver has to take a break every so often. The drone only has to take a break every 6 hours to get charged. And that's why he has two of them. One of them has a hand on the front. So just say we found somebody deceased in some water. He'll send down the drone with the hand on the front. That drone will attach a diver's flag to that person. We'll deploy the flag, and then we'll call PD so they can do their job.
Oh, wow. And how many times have you guys used that?
This year alone, we've used the drones, I want to say 4 or 5 times.
And
4 or 5
that's
times.
some awesome
and then,
equipment.
no, they're really nice. And Jason spent a lot of money on them. And for him to donate them to our organization for use was phenomenal. Phenomenal. We're one of the only search and rescue organizations that I know of in the state of Texas that has those drones.
Wow.
We have access to a canine dog. We just got a new canine person came on, and we have access to a canine. We used to have one, but it's not the same partnership anymore. The canine, the drones, we have an RV for traveling. Jason has a drivable RV that we use. We used it when we went to Humble looking for Kaylana Turner. Because we don't expect the family to pay for anything.
Yeah.
We want to just be able to fundraise, go help the family, and then, we're done when we're done.
Do y'all own the air drones with different types
we
of
have one.
gear?
We have one air drone. It's not like a super high tech drone. We're looking into. I've been talking to some people out of Houston that it's like a drone club or something, and we're trying to partner, make some more networking events and partnership up with other people, other resources that can help us. They were saying we might need your water drones, and then you could come help us, and then we can help you with our air drones.
That's crazy. That's awesome, considering knowing that your organization is helping other organizations, that you can go back and forth with different ones from different states as well.
We're very open to helping anybody. If anybody's organization would call today, Jason would say, Nina, we need to go here, and we need to go look for so-and-so. We have a call out of Ohio right now. We're waiting until the missing person's been gone for a couple of years, but the family's pretty sure that that person is in a body of water. Well, right now we all know Ohio's like a frozen tundra.
Yeah.
So the mother that called us has agreed for us to wait until spring thaw or whatever, and we're going to take the RV and we're going to head to Ohio. We'll spend 3, 4, 5 days up there helping her, trying to find her. I think it's her daughter, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
We just do what we can,
Yeah.
And like, I mean, are there situations where you're going, and how do you handle those situations if there has been, where that you're probably looking for somebody who has passed and not somebody who's no longer alive? How do you handle those situations with the family?
When I do the interview with the family, I'm one of those people who believes in compassion and caring, but also being very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
So I let the family know this could go one of two ways. We could either find the person that we're looking for and bring them back to be in your life again, or we could find the person not here anymore and we can bring them back for you to take care of their last wishes or whatever. Either way, we're going to bring your loved one back to you.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, because in some of these cases we get called on, it's been days or months or years, but we're still willing to help. It doesn't matter how big the case is, how small it is. Like Savannah, hers got a lot of social media traction on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, but the first day I started looking at it, she didn't have a lot of media traction.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't matter. We were going to do what we could anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's very, that's awesome of you guys, and you guys getting out there and getting it going. Man, you guys do some great work. We look forward to having you guys on and talking about more of the stuff that you guys are going to be doing and looking at anybody else and bringing attention to, those cases, because, perhaps if, this got media attention earlier, maybe this car's found earlier. And I'm not saying that it would have a different outcome, obviously not, but maybe perhaps be a little bit closer to capturing somebody at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
absolutely. And when they said that the car was gone and the car was missing, the problem we had originally was we had a paper plate.
Huh.
We didn't have the actual plate numbers. So I guess the family had called the dealership that they got the car at, and it finally came back to the family Tuesday morning that there was Texas plates on that car.
So that vehicle
we were out there
recently purchased?
Yes, we were out there looking for a vehicle that had paper plates that were supposed to expire on January 4th.
Wow.
So little details make a huge difference in how quickly we can help them. Yeah. And anybody that brings us a case, I always tell them, start from the day before they went missing and start telling me everything that happened. I don't care if you're going to tell me that they drank 2 sodas. Because when you're talking about it, you're going to remember more things. And those things are like pieces of a puzzle that I put together and create the plan to go look for your loved one.
Yeah. Every small little detail could be a clue.
Matters. Yep.
Do you know where they purchased that vehicle from?
I do not. I did not ask what dealership it came from. At first, everybody was telling them to go look and see if they had a tracker on it because it was a 2013.
Yeah.
And apparently it came back that it didn't have a tracker. That was, I want to say Sunday, I believe. And then Tuesday is when they got the plate number, Tuesday morning.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if they had a tracker, given the, it's 2013 that was recently sold. Unless it was purchased cash, usually and typically, lenders will, if you're lending for something that old, they want a tracker on it.
Right.
That's interesting. But then again, there were several pictures of him with wads of cash. He may have purchased it with cash.
Absolutely.
And so, do you got anything, Jaime? We're getting pretty close to that hour mark.
No, well, when it comes down to this case, the thing is that, usually it always goes down to the, significant other at the time, right? It usually starts off like that. And people tend to, look back in his past, and they kind of start blaming people that are not supposed to be blamed. And now that we're seeing some of the details coming out, and we have a bigger picture of what we should be expecting, or at least hoping that there'll be some arrests made.
I mean, we start out and I'm gonna be honest with you. When I start out with a case, I check backgrounds on anybody that if it's a missing wife, I'm gonna check her background and I'm gonna check his background. Because our group does deal with a lot of domestic violence victims. We have dealt with that a lot. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to check everybody's background so that everybody in my core group knows, hey, this person's violent, or this person's not, or this person's this, and I originally checked Matthew's background and was like, wow, this could be another DV situation. But then I got more into researching his social media and all his different things that he was doing, and pictures I was finding, and posts people were sending me, and all kinds of stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, we got a fence here, and I'm going to stay on the side of the fence. It's going to be domestic violence, or it's going to be in his dealings, his background, his lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and that's kind of, I'm just going to stay there for right now.
Yeah. I mean, until somebody's arrested and we see why or what, if it's, capital murder, that's going to tell us something. If it's, assisting in something else, that's going to tell us more.
Right. Absolutely.
Dilly Pickles asks, where can donations be made to you guys, to your nonprofit?
For our group, we have Cash App, which is Search and Rescue SATX. We have a GoFundMe, but that's on our group page. And then we have PayPal, which is Search and Rescue SATX. And
the is the symbol, right? Not the word.
No, it's actually spelled out. Search and Rescue, and then SATX.
Gotcha. There you go.
We have a group on Facebook. Our group is private. You have to ask to be a part of it because of the fact that we deal with a lot of DV situations. But people are more than welcome to request to come in. There's a couple questions you need to answer, a couple criteria to get in, and that group is everything we do. Searches, fundraisers, if there's missing persons. I even post runaways constantly in that group, because you never know when one of our members is going to drive by and see, oh, that kid at the bus stop was that kid I just saw on the flyer.
Yeah.
We have our TikTok page, which is Search and Rescue SATX as well. I mean, we have a wide range of social media.
Yeah. And you're going to be coming. I know you said you have a YouTube channel that you just haven't done anything with, but you're going to be working on that as well, right?
Yes. My daughter is my little admin wizard, and she's going to start working on that for me.
Good deal. Awesome. Good stuff. Do you have any questions for us before we call this a show?
I don't. I just really thank you guys for allowing me to come on and give you my experience on this case and other cases. And I hope it brings more awareness to San Antonio that we're here, and we're here for families that have missing loved ones. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I agree. This is a sad situation all the way around, regardless of anything, whether there was, like we mentioned, there's his lifestyle may have led to something. Regardless of that, these were three people, three lives that were taken. One was an unborn child, the utmost innocent type of person or being that is out there is an unborn child. And so, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families. We'll probably be back on Monday, taking some phone calls. We'll be doing that. And also, well, you know what? If there's breaking news, if somebody gets arrested or if there's something that does happen, I'll be jumping back on the live throughout the weekend. But with that being said, guys, I want to say thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate everybody. If you're still here and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We appreciate you guys. We're out. Peace.
Thank you.